ladies and gentlemen, Phoebe has worked hard this year planning the Fanatics' big surprise party. Phoebe, are you ready to bring out your son for the big surprise? Well, kids, we need your help. The Fanatic doesn't know that his big party is today. So we need you to be really quiet, so when we bring him out blindfolded, he won't know that you're here. And when we take off the blindfold, we want everyone to yell, "Surprise!" as loud as you can, okay? Well, let's bring out the Fanatic. One, two, three, surprise! Happy birthday, Philly Fanatic! Surprise, surprise! We have lots of special surprises for you today. And first, let's welcome the Fanatics' special friends from Citizens Bank. Well, Fanatic, some of your best friends from around the city are here to wish you a happy birthday. Let's have them come out right now. First, your friends from the Phillies minor league system, from the Reading Fightin' Phils, that crazy hot dog vendor, and from the Lakewood Blue Claws, Buster. And now, here are our local college mascots. From Villanova University, the Wildcat. From LaSalle University, the Explorer. The St. Joseph's University Hawk. Mario, the Drexel Dragon. From the University of Pennsylvania, the Quaker. From Temple University, Hooter the Owl. And from Cabrini College, the Cavalier. And Fanatic, one of your best friends from the Philadelphia Eagles, Swoop. Now, Fanatic, everyone knows that you are the Phillies' #1 fan, and we know how much you love the city of Philadelphia. But today, we wanted to honor the place where you were born, the Galapagos Islands. Now, recently, you went back home to the Galapagos Islands and were reunited with all of your old friends. So let's check out some of your home movies from that trip. Wow, Fanatic. It really looks like you had some fun going back to your homeland. The Galapagos Islands is a beautiful place. And say, Fanatic, I know you had fun going back to your homeland. It's such a beautiful place. And say, fans, how would one of you like the opportunity to win a trip to the Fanatic's birthplace, the Galapagos Islands? Well, thanks to Citizens Bank, Lindblad Expeditions, and the Phillies, one of you here today will win a 10-day, 9-night, all-expense trip for two to the Galapagos Islands. And you'll explore the Galapagos Islands with Lindblad Expeditions aboard the National Geographic Endeavour. You will hike, kayak, snorkel, and discover the beauty of the islands with the trained Galapagos naturalists. You will get up close with the wildlife that live on the islands and the same beauty that Charles Darwin experienced so many years ago. Fans, this trip is valued at $15,000. And all of you have a chance to win. Now, Mark Capitelli from Lindblad Expeditions is here with us today, and Mark will deliver the prize right to your seat in the bottom of the 6th inning. So fans, make sure you're in your seats when we make the announcement. Good luck. Well, Fanatic, your mom, Phoebe,
singing, she don't think I wouldn't stop. Shouting and whining down like she gone insane. All the music don't touch she break. She charming and beautiful like a beauty queen. Naturally clad in red, she light up the scene. All who wouldn't free up, she set them free. She give it up and listen and the woman singing the party play, Mr. DJ. Just give it a jump to break away. I want to jump and dance and fall along the ground. I want the crowd to sing and roar. Sing and say, music, music, music.
Fanatic, your mom, Phoebe, knows how much you loved growing up as a kid on those Galapagos Islands. You made friends with all of the animals there, but you had 4 friends that you always played with. Well, guess what, Fanatic? Phoebe has a big surprise for you. She invited all the friends who are here today for your big party, but she also invited some special friends that you haven't seen in a long, long time. These friends have traveled far and wide, over hill and over dale. They have logged thousands of miles by land, by air, and by sea just to be with you this afternoon. Take a look at Fanavision to see how far they've come. Look who's here. It's the Philly Fanatics' best friends, the Galapagos Gang. They have traveled all the way from the Galapagos Islands to be here with the Fanatics on his birthday. Thanks to Toyota for supplying us with these Toyota Tundras that are bringing the gang here this afternoon.
As the stories and he goes by Sid Galapagos. Yeah, Galapagos.
Yes, Fanatic, it's your friends. Bessie, the blue-footed booby. Sid, the sea lion. Calvin, the giant tortoise. And Iggy, the land iguana. Fanatic, Phoebe told me that you and the gang loved to dance when you were a kid. So let's see if that Galapagos gang still remembers some of their old dance moves.
Pretty clear, I ain't no size 2, because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bass.
They still have the moves, Fanatic. And Phoebe is so happy she was able to bring your old friends in for your birthday party. And she wanted you to be reunited with them, to dance with them, just like in the old days on the Galapagos Islands. What do you say, Fanatic? Do you want to dance with the old gang again? Well, go ahead, Fanatic. Let's party. They don't call you a party animal for nothing.
I can turn the gray sky blue. I can make it rain whenever I wanted to. Oh, I can build a castle from a single grain of sand. I can make the ship sail on dry land. But my life is incomplete and I'm so blue. 'Cause I can't get next to you. Can't get next to you, baby. Next to you. I just can't get next to you, baby. I can't get next to you. All the shorties in the club. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want.
What do you think, kids? Do you like the Galapagos gang? Well, guess what? They just told the Philly fanatic that they love it here in Philadelphia so much, they're going to make Citizens Bank Park their new home. So you'll get an opportunity to see them at many Phillies home games this season. Fanatic, right now, your friends at Citizens Bank want to present a large card that 500 fans around the Delaware Valley have signed to wish you happy birthday. So please welcome Dan Fitzpatrick, President and CEO, Citizens Bank of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, as well as Denise Leahy, Head of Sponsorships and Corporate Giving, Citizens Bank, accompanied by several Citizens Bank ballpark bankers. That card reads, happy birthday from the good citizens of Philadelphia. We wish you a fantastic day. Fanatic, take your friends over to see that beautiful birthday cake that your friends from Sally's ShopRite in Medford, New Jersey made especially for you. Once again, we want to say thanks to the Reading Fightin' Phil's mascot band for joining us today. And to conclude our birthday party, the Reading Fightin' Phil's mascot band is going to play Happy Birthday, and everybody's invited to sing along. So fans, let's all sing Happy Birthday to the Philly Fanatic on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Philly Fanatic. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Fanatic!
37 years since the Philadelphia Phillies organization introduced the Phillie Phanatic, and over the course of time, he has amassed a number of friends, including the Reading Titans mascot band. Yes, they are performing right now at Ashburn Alley as we get set to celebrate the Phanatic's birthday today in Game 3 between the Phils and the Atlanta Braves. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs and Mike Schmidt. You ready to laugh? Well, you're going to laugh today before the ball game and at some point during the game when the Phanatic and all his friends are out on the field. And for 37 years, Michael, we have laughed at the Phillie Phanatic.
Yeah, we sure have. He's one guy who doesn't have to worry about his job around here. You know, we used to think we should be the center of attention when we played, and the Phanatic a lot of times took that from us, and we got a little jealous, but now I can see why he is the center of attention. How about when he mocks the opposing team? I used to love when he took on Lasorda when the Dodgers were in town. Oh, it's hilarious. Get you in a good frame of mind to play ball.
Well, Matt, you were a visiting player and a home player, so you saw it from both sides.
I saw it from both sides. When I was a visiting player, I was always out early because I wanted to see what he was doing. When you come here, you love the ballpark, but you want to see the Phanatic and what he's going to do and who he's going to embarrass today. A lot of times he had that big stomach sticking out when I was announced.
No.
So I know it's hard to believe, but even when I was with the Philly, I did the exact same thing. And then being a Philly, I'd always come down and watch the early things, and the antics he does, unbelievable. It never gets old, and I laugh all the time.
Well, they're going to add to it here today at Citizens Bank Park, so stay tuned for that. And the other thing we have is, of course, baseball. The Phils and the Atlanta Braves. Mike, last night Ryan Howard hit his second home run. It was a pretty sweet swing, and those are things the Phillies hope they can see more often.
Yeah, Ryan Howard got one last night, put a crooked number up for a change on the scoreboard. You see the highlights here. Here's Ryan, a nice, like, shin-high fastball out over the plate. Goes down and gets it and drives it straight away center field. That's a good sign. Now, Ryan Howard, when he hits, the Phillies win. If you look back into history, especially through that long run we had in the 2008 to 2010 range, Ryan, when he hits, we win almost 200 games over 500.
Incredible.
When Ryan Howard hits a home run. He gets paid the big bucks to do that, and let's hope yesterday's home run gets him on a roll.
Well, we'll see what happens against these Atlanta Braves and Trevor Cahill. Meanwhile, for the Phils, they'll start Jerome Williams today. He's been pretty efficient for the Phils, particularly in his last starts.
Well, especially his last start. He throws very well when he's down in the zone. He's not overpowering with this fastball, but when he starts off with the first pitch fastball down in the zone, it makes his changeup even better. He has very good movement with his changeup. He has almost the exact same grip as a four-seam fastball, same arm speed, good control last game against the Fish with the curveball, changeup, fastball. He really kept the hitters off balance the whole game.
And it led to a Phillies victory. He kept his team within reach, and they wound up scoring enough runs to win that ball game 7-3. Let's see if they can do it again and win the series today against the Atlanta Braves. A little luck of the mascots today. Jerome Williams will be opposed by Trevor Cahill. We'll see if that luck rubs off on the Phils. Yes, there is a lot going on here at Citizens Bank Park, celebrating all around the yard the Phanatic's birthday. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyattoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com.
Is there anybody out there who wants to go faster?
final game of this 3-game series in this homestand here in South Philadelphia. The Phillies have taken the field. The starting 9 were out there joining them for the anthem. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's Markakis, Simmons, and Freeman, followed by Kelly Johnson, Johnny Gomes, and Jace Peterson. Christian Bethencourt is doing the catching today. Eric Young, the center fielder, bats 8th, and batting 9th and pitching is Trevor Cahill. They'll face Phillies right-hander Jerome Williams. 1-1 so far this year, 23 hits in 17 innings of work. And Matt, he has to play to contact in order to be successful, although he has picked up some strikeouts along the way.
Well, that's true. The number that sticks out for me is the 3 walks this year. When he's down the zone, his ball moves very well. Budweiser scouting report, he'll top out at 92 miles an hour. Lives right around 89.8 miles an hour, Tom and Mike, and he's got a changeup curve slider. He made his major league debut this day in 2003.
Time now for our Nissan keys to today's ball game. Mike, what do you think?
Well, sometimes you just got to make it simple. How about let's just win the series? We win today's game and build on it as we go on the road. And sometimes a simple key is a good one.
And finish 3-3.
Yeah, mine is very easy as well. Win one for the Fanatic's birthday.
37 years ago, yesterday, the Phillies introduced the Philly Fanatic. Nick Markakis will lead things off, and the first pitch of the day is taken down low. Markakis so far 2 for 7 in the series. He scored a couple of runs as an RBI. Overall hitting .362. Pretty familiar with Jerome Williams. Jerome now 33 years old. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Second straight day that Markakis has led off. I guess Freddie Gonzalez is thinking, well, we won last night. We might as well keep the first few guys the same.
When you get your hottest hitter, you might as well put him at the top of the order.
Inside, 2-2.
It's one of those Sunday day games where you're at the mercy of the clouds. You know, you notice on the batter's eye out there, you get the clouds, the sun going in and out and in and out. Makes it tough to hit.
Yeah, we've already seen it change a couple of times in this at bat alone. Change up, down and away, 3-2. And now you see Williams in the sunshine, which he wasn't a moment ago. 61 degrees, light breeze coming out of the south. He tried to go upstairs with a fastball and he fouls it away. It remains 3-2.
A little different than last night. I think we have a 7-pitch inning or something in the first inning, and we've had 7 pitch, 6. This will be our 7th pitch to the first hitter of the game.
And it's ball 4, so Markakis draws a walk.
That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter right there. Like a 7-pitch at bat deep in the count. You see all the pitches.
During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
Just had a strawberry cheesecake and
mixed
butter
it up a little
pecan.
bit, huh?
Where's yours there, Matt? Oh, you hide it over here behind the monitor. I see you over there. How do you make it last so long?
It's his second one.
Third, Tom. Well, if you could have heard me try to pronounce a name the other night on the air, you'll understand why I picked my areas to eat my ice cream.
And Drelton Simmons is the batter. 1 ball and no strikes, make it 2-0. All right, so Williams is having a little trouble with his command here in this first inning. After working ahead of the first batter, he's now thrown 5 straight out of the strike zone. Simmons got it all started last night for the Braves with this home run.
Yeah, he did. He very quickly jumped over a first pitch from Buchanan and drove to left center. And that's his first home run of the year.
You see what that does to the pitcher, too. I mean, he saw that last night. He's probably watching on a monitor inside the clubhouse. First pitch fastball, boom.
That one's ripped right at third baseman Cesar Hernandez, so 1 out.
Yeah, a little taste of what the Phillies been doing lately, you know, lining out to somebody.
Yeah, I was talking to Ryan Sandberg today about that. He was talking about a couple of players who have hit into bad luck.
One being Chase Utley, and we take it back a couple of series where Chase, I think, lined out about 5 times in a row in Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
Freddie Freeman has been held in check in this series. Phillies hope they can continue that one more day. And at least for this at bat, it looks like they may. Freddie Galvis calls everybody off, shading his eyes. There are 2 outs. By the way, Freddie gave a description today about what happened and why he felt pain in last night's game. He said his left elbow, when it hit the ground, slammed into his side, and he felt a pinch in his rib cage. So that's what the pain was that he was talking about.
Probably scared him. You know, you could very easily break a rib, shoulder come out. So we talked about it in depth last night. That was an amazing play.
Right there.
And I would have bet, watching him laying on the ground, I kidded him about a little bit. How the heck are you playing today, man?
Yeah.
I thought you were out for a month.
Well, Sandberg's quote on Freddie's play, it's our Geico quote of the day. That was one of the better plays I've ever seen. How he got a throw off, I have no idea. I asked Freddie about that today. I said, how did you get the throw off? He said, I don't know. He said, I just spun and threw it, and it was just in the area of first base, basically. 2 balls, no strikes to Kelly Johnson. Change up, a little high, and it's 3-0.
It's just athleticism. That's the only way you can, describe it. Freddie's a great athlete. He dove for a ball. He felt where he was, and rolled over and fired it in the general direction of first base, and Ryan picked it for him.
Well, that was the other part of it too, is Howard's pick at the other end.
Well, Freddie made a great play versus the Marlins up the middle as well.
Outside, ball 4, so he's walked 2. Well, this is very unlike Jerome Williams to have 2 walks in this first, and it's very different than the stance the Braves took last night against David Buchanan when they were aggressive. But he was throwing strikes.
Well, I think what it is that Jerome's missing by quite a bit right now, so they're not even offering at it.
Well, Johnny Gomes was 2 for 3 last night with a run scored and a double. There's a cutter for a strike, 0-1.
Had a good night offensively last night, but I think the key play for the game last night was him throwing Chooch out at second base.
Sure was.
That was probably the second
3-2 at the time.
defensive play of the game.
Yeah, I think because the Phillies have struggled, you never know. I mean, one hit could start something, and that basically ended it right there. And he thought of it. Over toward the left side. Is it going to sneak in? Galvis has got it. He's going to at least knock it down and keep everybody station to station. Well, he was shaded over toward the hole, so he had a long way to go. If he was where he was a moment ago with Kelly Johnson up, and obviously lefty-righty situation, he would have gotten that one.
Yeah, Freddie's really played over to pull. He must know something about Gomes that we don't, Matt. I know you know Gomes, but yeah, he did. I tell you what, that spot on the field right there is
it's going to eat him up.
It's killing him. Well, what he did was what you need to do, and that's what they'll scream at you in that situation. Keep the ball in the infield. Dive on it. There's 2 outs. Don't let a ball get to the outfield if you can help it, and he did that. Still get out of the inning.
With Jace Peterson coming up, and Peterson takes on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Peterson was 0 for 2 in last night's ball game. Overall hitting 171. To the right side, and Utley can't get it, a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second runner, Kelly Johnson, and he's going to score. Ball is cut off by Ryan Howard. It's 2-0. Braves on top. So Peterson has already doubled his RBI total on the season with that 1 base hit.
Well, I guess you could say the sort of walks will kill you when you're falling behind hitters and they can find holes.
Actually wasn't that bad of a pitch. It was a changeup down the zone. Left-handers get out in front a little bit, and they can hit that ball through that hole there. And good effort by Chase Utley. But the key is throwing strikes.
Well, now Christian Bethancourt, who was 0 for 8 on this road trip for the Braves. Overall hitting $133. He is one of their big prospects. Supposed to be the starting catcher when the season began, but A.J. Przinsky's hitting so well that Przinsky's gotten a chance to play a little bit more. So 0 for 8 on the road trip, but you saw 0 for his last 12. One ball, no strikes. And a chopper over toward Bo Porter. It's 1-1.
I hate to bring this up, but I know Jerome had some tough outings in spring training, and he hasn't repeated that since the season started. But this is kind of like backsliding into the same kind of game that he pitched a few times in spring training. He was a little lost out there and
falling behind.
Yeah, you do. I mean, even if he's throwing a lot of strikes, maybe he gets that pitch.
Yeah, the two games that really stand out for him in spring training were the two games in Fort Myers, one against the Twins, one against the Red Sox. The one against the Red Sox, I mean, they just thumped him. And then he had the one bad outing in Clearwater. 2 balls and 1 strike. And a high fly ball left center field. Revere going back. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. 2 runs scored for the Braves. They strike first. 2 walks, 2 base hits. Middle of the first. It's Atlanta 2, and the Phillies coming up. Can get something going. Ben Revere is all ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Revere, Herrera, Chase Utley, then Francoeur, Howard, and Hernandez. Cameron Ruppel bats 7th. Freddie Galvis bats 8th. And batting 9th and pitching, of course, is Jerome Williams. They'll face veteran right-hander Trevor Cahill, who hasn't pitched all that well here this year. An ERA of 9.95. 10 hits and 6 1/3. This will be his 3rd start of the season. See if the Phillies, Matt, can get something going early against him.
Yeah, and he gets on a roll, then all of a sudden it seems like he hits a wall and he can't throw strikes, or he's given up a lot of hits. And the Budweiser scouting report, very similar to Jerome Williams. 89, 92 mile an hour fastball, change curve slider, and you can see the numbers versus the Phillies in his career.
Yeah, they acquired him right before the end of spring training from the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks didn't need him, and they didn't know what to do with him, and the Braves needed another starting pitcher. So he'll face Ben Revere and then Herrera and Chase Utley. 1, 2, 3 for the Phils. Revere 1 for 8 so far in this series. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking to Steve Henderson today about Ben Revere and some of the other hitters, where they're hitting right now. He said, I'm not really worried about Ben. He said, I know he's not hitting now. He said, he's going to hit. He said he usually does start out slow. And under 200 in this first month is slow. He hits that one hopper off the glove of Peterson. And that should be a base hit there. Let's wait and see how they score it.
Yeah, no question that'll be a base hit. Short hop, line drive. Once he missed it, he was not going to get bent at first base anyway.
That's pretty much, I mean, Mike, you know more than I would. It's a do or die, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're hoping you either get a glove on it or.
I thought maybe he could have moved to his left a little bit more, got his body in front of it, kind of like a catcher would on a pitch in the dirt, maybe knocked it down and thrown him out. These beautiful infields they play on nowadays. A lot of guys get away with kind of like the Olay move.
Well, that'll bring Odubel Herrera to the plate. He's hit in 8 consecutive games. And he hits that one off the end of the bat. It's going to flare out toward left center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Oh, maybe not. And he is out at second base. Ben Revere is thinking that he's safe. He's looking up at the second base umpire, Brian Gorman.
I'll tell you what, that'll frost you if you're a hitter.
Yeah.
All you can do is you got to kind of hang out there about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way. You have to make a decision.
Let's take a look at the slow-mo here. Can't see where his hand is. Ryan Sandberg's debating on whether to ask for a review. Nope, he's going to let it go. So 1 out. That's a fielder's choice for Odubel Herrera. 9-4 on the putout.
That's a tough read. I'm not making excuses. I think once he's hanging out there a little over halfway to second base, there's a moment there where you just got to make a decision. He's not going to catch it and take off. But you got to beat that throw. You got to give Gomes credit defensively again, for letting it drop in front and pick it up, throwing a strike.
So he's halfway.
No, I don't know if he's halfway.
Yeah,
that's
might be
the problem.
A little light of that. 7-4 on the putout. 7-4 on the putout for the first out.
I was just about to say it, though. Odubel, he lined out with 2 men on to right field his last time up last night. See how they even out?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, now he needs a couple of them to even out. 1 ball and no strikes to Chase Utley. Utley 1 for 6 in the series.
Well, Matt will agree with me. They never even out.
Never.
Runner goes. Pitch is taken outside. Throw to second on 1 hop, and it's dropped by Simmons. And Odubel has his 4th stolen base of the year.
I cannot understand when we watch this replay why shortstops feel a need. Oh, he tried to block the bag. Look at that. Pulled an Utley on him. That's another thing with the dive, the dive into bases. The defensive players nowadays know the players that will dive. If you dive and go in head first, they'll put their knee down and block the bag. If you're going in feet first, they're not going to do that.
That's why you should do it once in a while. Like if Ben Rivera goes head first, Herrera goes head first. You go in feet first one time, and you lay the spikes into his leg, he will not block that base anymore. Well, Chase would. Chase wouldn't care. He'll get some ice and keep on doing it. But they know their scouting reports. They know who slides head first.
That's totally new to me. I mean, that really never happened back when we played.
The blocking of the bag,
yes.
Like that? Utley takes low. 3 balls and no strikes.
You'd have to be crazy to put your thigh down there in front of the bag. Yeah,
Ben was almost halfway.
Yeah, okay.
But his momentum was coming back towards first base.
Good point. And that half second or so may have cost him, or did cost him. Utley takes on the inside corner, 3-1.
They're screaming out of the dugout right now. That doesn't have to be automatic. Ball looked like it was a little inside. But I'd also scream and Chase, that's okay. We want you to hit.
Inside, ball 4. So that puts runners on first and second. All right, so Murph, the Phils get a couple base runners here in the bottom of the first inning. Maybe that can jumpstart what has been a very slow offense over the last 12 games.
Yeah, certainly, Tom. A first inning run or two would go a long way in helping this offense kind of get established this afternoon, because it has been tough sledding, no doubt about it, for this offense. Ever since that first homestand where they finished up 3-3, they went on the road and have really struggled. Just 3-9 in those last 12 games, averaging under 2.5 runs per game. Home runs only 8. Lots of strikeouts. Not a whole lot of walks, and you see the average there as well. So Ryan Sandberg, hoping perhaps that he can get something going with this offense. And Mike and Matt, I would ask you guys. I'm sure you've been a part of struggling offenses at some point in your career. What's the best way to get it kick-started? What's the best way to get it jump-started? Because I know Ryan Sandberg has been pulling out all the punches at this point.
Matt and I are looking at each other going, I don't know.
That's the million-dollar question, I guess, right?
I think there's a lot of different things. I think you can try to set up a lineup. I know they've gone with the same lineup twice this year. Honestly, I think when you have a different lineup, majority of the times guys don't know the rules. They don't know if they want to be aggressive early in the count, take pitches. But really, they're being, I hate to say it, but they're being overmatched at times with the pitching they've been facing. I mean, they've faced a lot of good pitchers with the Washington Nationals, the New York Mets. The only thing I don't like is that the Atlanta Braves hasn't really thrown that guy who goes out and throws 96, 97 miles an hour, and they've been losing.
Well, they've got an opportunity here to put some runs on the board in the bottom of the first. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeff Francoeur. Outside.
It takes the simplest answer to that question is we have to win more one-on-one battles between our hitters and their pitchers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Particularly against those top line starters.
I mean, there's a little battle going on right here, right now. Jeff Francoeur and Trevor Cahill, right? Those two guys are battling out. We got to win these battles. We don't win them enough. Maybe we just won one.
Fly ball to left field. Gomes going back toward the track, and the wind might pull this one back a little bit. He makes the catch, and there are 2 outs. Well, Bethencourt's was hit pretty well for the Braves, and that one just shy of getting out of here.
But we almost won that battle, no question. But that's what the game is. I mean, it's a battle between the guy on the mound and the guy at home plate. And if you win them, other teams are winning those battles more than we are.
Like last night, Ryan Howard won that battle against Shelby Miller and gave the Phils a 2-0 lead.
A lot of times winning that battle is taking what he gives you, and if it's not a pitch to hit, if it's a ball 4, you basically have won the battle. You don't have to hit a home run. You don't have to hit a line drive. Sometimes winning the battle is just putting the ball in play. Doing what the game asks for, you've won the battle. Let the next guy win his battle.
Howard waves at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Well, so far the Phillies this year, out of the 18 games, they have scored 2 runs or less in 11 of those 18 games.
Stats tell the story. I mean, if you're last in the league in hitting, you're last in the league in runs scored. You're not winning enough battles.
Curveball and a changeup back-to-back to Howard, and it's 0-2.
I got a question for Matt related to Howard, and we showed in the opening we talked about Ryan and hitting the home run last night. Last night we touched on the whole idea that Ryan's a great low ball hitter, not a very good hitter as the ball elevates in the hitting zone. I would ask you, Freddie Freeman is just a big time uppercutter. Why would Freddie Freeman be able to be successful with just a drastic uppercut swing, and Ryan Howard doesn't seem to be able to be?
I think it's the way that he throws his hands to the ball. Ryan Howard has a little loop in his swing. Freddie Freeman, if you watch Freddie Freeman hit, he has, you have that ABC combination of swings. That's last night. I always look at the front foot with Ryan Howard, and he kept it in there. That keeps the front hip in there. The head is down. He has that little uppercut. Majority of all hitters have uppercuts. But I think Freddie Freeman has a different style of how to go down to it. He almost chops and then comes up. Where Ryan's
like
back elbow, like Ryan's back elbow, he does like a big C.
Well, I was going to say I thought that Freddie is tighter. He's tighter and quicker and waits on the ball longer. versus Ryan is long and up. Does that make sense? He's longer and slower and up, and Freddie's real like tight and quick and up.
Well, Ryan relies on his strength.
That one's hit well out to right field. Can it go? It is gone!
There we go again.
Three-run home run. All you got to do is talk about it.
Talk about hitting. Last night you talked about the home run and how much of a separation he had between those two times off that right-handed pitcher last night. Boom, home run. And by the way, when we run this back, I think I missed it on the monitor here right now. This looks like an off-speed pitch that was a little up in the hitting zone. Look at that. Change up or something right over the middle of the plate. Now, why does the uppercut work here?
I'll tell you what, that's a direct path right there.
It's slightly up, but it's because it's an off-speed pitch.
Right.
Over to first, Freddie Freeman tosses to Cahill covering in time to get Hernandez. Side is retired. However, the Phillies erase a 2-run deficit and take a 1-run lead. Philip Stark of Glenside. We didn't even get a chance to tell you you are our participant in the McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot, and you are now a $100 winner in the McDonald's home run jackpot. Thanks to Ryan Howard's third home run of the season and his second in this series against the Braves. It's a 1-run lead for the Phils as we go to the top of the second inning. Top of the second, Phillies lead it 3-2. Eric Young leads it off. It takes strike one. It's 0-1. 3-2 thanks to Ryan Howard's 49th career home run against the Atlanta Braves, the active leader. He's pretty far ahead of the number 2 guy, and that's David Wright. 0-2 to Eric Young. Young so far 1 for 7, but the one was a double to left field in last night's game. Off the hands, and Howard can't get it. He picks it up, and they're not going to have a play. And Eric Young is aboard here in the second.
That was interesting. That might have been the softest base hit Eric Young ever got.
I don't know, did you see the bunt he did the other day?
Yeah, the bunt was pretty funny.
Did you see that bunt?
No.
I mean, he gets jammed pretty bad. It kind of freezes Ryan Howard and still at the reach of his glove.
Yeah, I don't think even if they let it go to Chase, that Chase was going to get him at first base either once it bounced. They do score a base hit. Cahill will square.
EY bunted the other day. It landed probably 30 feet on the grass behind second base.
That's one of those don't try that at home, kids. Ball's butted foul, and it's 0-1. Cahill's 0 for 2 so far this season.
We've seen two of the strangest plays already. This is one inning home. Ben getting forced at second on a single to left field.
Yeah.
A ball he could have caught barehanded in the infield is a single.
And we're only in the second inning. Career numbers for Cahill under 100. Statistically, he is one of the worst hitters for a pitcher in the National League. And he's had himself a lot of at-bats over with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'm not a proponent of Phillies do it too. The Phillies was squaring around so early and staring at the pitcher with your bat right there. I just don't understand. Anybody out there, you kids watching the game today, don't let anybody talk you into squaring around a bunt this soon.
He bunts at it, and he's down on strikes. Now, Mike, explain why, because I've heard you talk about that before. Explain why you shouldn't go around that early.
Well, a couple reasons. First of all, the corner infielders are coming right, they're
creeping,
standing right in front of you, and you have a sense that there they are. They're right there. I've been here for 2 or 3 seconds waiting on him to throw the pitch. And that puts more pressure on me to make a deadened perfect bunt. And secondly, you're staring at the pitcher like this. And you like to be staring at him like this, so you can get out of the way of the ball. It's almost like you're inviting him to throw one right at your face, And I just find it to be uncomfortable. You should be able to bunt. Just bunting, just do it from the side. Just bunt. What's so hard about bunting? Coaches just square around early stuff. That drives me nuts.
Well, I think a lot of people say sometimes they're just unsure of it. I mean, I would think that they're sitting there, okay, if I square this way and I get set, then I'm okay. But like you said, you're moving all over the place.
Well, it's called being relaxed. You get in that, you square and you bunt early. I know it might sound weird with Mike and I talking about bunting, but we've seen a lot of it before. And you turn around early, you get tight. It's like hitting. You want to be loose. It's the same thing when you're bunting.
Markakis the batter. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. He walked and scored his first time up in the first inning.
The greatest bunter I've ever seen for a pitcher was Steve Carlton. Steve Carlton didn't even square around. He just bunted from his batting stance. No, he did. He just boom. He'd top it into the ground. And he never even ran to first. He just bunted it. About a third of the way down there, and they threw him out, and he turned and went in the dugout. Always executed a bunt. But he was a great hitter as well.
At the knees, and it's 2-1. How about LC, Larry Christensen, who you saw today? Was he a good bunter?
Can't remember if LC was a good bunter or not. He's a good hitter.
He was a good hitter, yeah.
Definitely a good hitter.
He reminds us of that all the time whenever we see him. He also reminds Larry Anderson that he was a better basketball player than he was.
God, he scored 200 points in one game. That's amazing.
The fish is getting bigger and bigger as the years are going on. 3 balls and 1 strike to Markakis. Well, a lot of deep counts so far for Jerome Williams.
Need a shutdown inning. Coming back, scoring 3 runs, taking the lead. We need a double play right here.
All right, well, there you go, Matt. You ask, and we are able to give you exactly what you want. 463, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Stairs will be performing every night. Beginning at 7 o'clock. First pitch at 7:05. 463 double play gets Jerome Williams out of trouble here in the top of the second. It was all Jerome Williams, and it was all Matt Stairs. Take a bow, big man. Take a bow. That's all women 15 and older receive the Phillies wristlet. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Beautiful day today, celebrating the Fanatic's birthday. The proceedings are sponsored by Citizens Bank. All fans 14 and under coming to the ballpark today receive the Fanatics socks. Cameron Rupp leads it off in the second, takes a pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Rupp hitting 167. He's 3 for 8. Chopper to short, big hop for Simmons. And a couple pitches and 1 away.
Smitty, I'm going to ask you, and we talked about this the other day. Being a backup, and you don't see a lot of pitches, would you like to see them work the count a little longer? Just to get
a backup?
Yeah, like a backup player. I'd like to see backup players take more pitches their first at bat to get their timing down. Or do you disagree?
Well, I don't think there's a pat answer to that. It depends upon the
Hitter.
hitter, obviously. You probably. You don't have a. You say you against Trevor Cahill right here. Yeah, I don't think you have a problem with running a deep count against him. You might be a little more aggressive as a left-hander on the mound, and you came in to hit. First fastball you see, you might turn it loose. If you're Greg Gross, you come off the bench, you're playing as a starter in a game on a Sunday like this, so you don't have a problem taking a strike, taking a few pitches, running a deep count. And there are other guys who are just generally more aggressive hitters.
Yeah.
Breaking ball, and it floats in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Galvis.
So I'm a firm believer for bench players who play once a week. See some pitches your first at bat. As Freddie hits another base up the middle. I mean, he's been working so well up the middle this year.
He sure has.
Was he in your group?
Funny you should ask me that. He was my number 2 hitter behind Cody Ashley, but he's slowly becoming my number 1 hitter. I'm not the only one that spoke to Freddie about hitting throughout the spring. I mean, I want to make that perfectly clear, but we did spend a ton of time together, and he really has been fun to work with, fun to coach, very receptive to pretty much everything I worked with him on. I wanted to keep the ball. I tell you what, you know something? I challenged him to get 200 hits this year.
Bunt by Williams. Cahill's play is to first. A little sidewinder.
It was a good bunt. But no, back to Freddie, I did, and that may sound crazy. Freddie Galvis, 200 hits. Wow, well, I'll tell you, it's 1.5 hits a game, I guess. I don't know if he's too far off of that pace right now. It's a matter of staying healthy, getting your at-bats, putting the ball in play on the line, keeping it out of the air. And the word with Freddie is abajo, Spanish word for down. Swing down on that ball, right?
Well, he's got 20 hits so far.
A-B-A-J-O, abajo. I wrote it on his batting gloves.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Well, he has 20 hits so far. This is game number 19, so that's a little more than 1 so far. Then Revere, the batter, outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Looked like Freddie was thinking about taking off.
Yeah. I've liked what I've seen because he's staying out of the air.
Yeah.
It's hard to get base hits when you're not a real power guy and you're hitting the ball in the air.
You got to get used to liking to see your average in the paper every day, not just on Sundays.
When the overall statistics used to be printed, but the leaders were printed every day.
Yeah, you can find your average every day
Yeah.
now. I understand that because of the modern world in which we live. But back when we played, I generally had to wait till Sunday to see my average in the paper. And I usually started at the bottom of the column.
Foul ball, and it's 2-1.
That's a funny thing that Pete Rose used to always say. I can see my average every day. Just look at the bottom of the standings there where they have the stats, the hitting totals. He could find his average in the paper every day. Most of you guys got to wait till Sunday.
Revere at infield hit his first time up. Pulls that one to Freddie Freeman, who knocks it down, picks up the spin, throws to Cahill covering. And the side is retired. 3-1 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the 3rd inning. Phillies hanging on to a 1-run lead. Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, the question is, what Phillies pitcher did Chipper Jones hit his final career home run off? Number 468. I remember this vividly. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. It was back in 2012, September 2012.
Well, that's going to be Matt. You have to handle that one, bro.
I have to say, when he hit it, I kept thinking, why is he retiring? Because he's still.
He hit it lefty or righty?
He hit it lefty.
By the way, that was a really good first pitch to Andrelton Simmons right there. It's busting the fastball right up under his chin, and he was starting to swing. Whoops, it didn't break over the plate.
Well, he's the guy that hit the ball probably the hardest in the first inning, even though he was out. He lined out to third base.
Good point.
0-2 pitch to him. Got him out on his front foot again. Boy, he even dropped down a little bit on that.
Of the young shortstops in the league, Matt, Tom, who would you like to, if you had to pick one to start a team with, who would it be?
Well, that's a great question.
Young shortstops?
Mm-hmm.
Defensively or all around?
That's it. Who would you like to have?
Outside 2-2. I think this guy is hard to look past.
How about Washington?
Ian Desmond. The only thing are the errors, but offensively, Ian Desmond is the best. Wouldn't you say, Matt?
Yeah, I also like
Echeverria from the Marlins.
Thank you.
Yep. He's very good.
He made some tremendous plays here.
Would you allow us to choose Troy Tulowitzki? Is he too old? Or
He's a veteran.
Yeah,
Chopper toward the hole. Our young shortstop, Freddie Galvis, throws out Simmons. And there's one away. On Monday, have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with Rob Ellis. Wake up with breakfast on Broad from 6 until 8 a.m. on the Comcast Network. Then lunch break on csatphilly.com. And at 5, Rob joins Philly Sports Talk Gang on Comcast Sportsnet. Busy day for Rob Ellis.
Here's Freddie Freeman. If we get a shot at from the side of his swing and compare it to Ryan's.
Outside corner, 0-1.
Elbow up in the back.
Opposite way. Yep, opposite way. Revere's not going to get there. It's going to stay in the yard and go off the wall on one hop. And Freeman will glide into second with his first hit of the series.
Well, maybe we better stop talking about the Braves hitters anyway. I mean, if we're going to talk about them, they're going to hit doubles, so it's okay to talk about Ryan Howard. Seems like every guy we want to break down up here gets a hit.
Well, if you look at Freddie's back elbow, his back elbow never goes above his shoulder, which is a little different than Ryan. Ryan has that little hitch where he has that elbow going up. You know, and I think right here you just see it's straight down. He relies on a really short swing and a short compact swing. Right here, his shoulder.
It's down to the ball and then up and out.
Yeah.
It's almost like a V. Look, boom, and up and out. But it's short and compact and quick.
Now he's also 15 years younger than Howard. Does that make a difference, you think?
I think the older players.
For me.
Well, and I think when guys get older, they lose a little bit of bat speed. I think they have to start using their body more.
That's a fair ball off the glove of Howard, going into foul territory. Freeman will score. And Kelly Johnson will go to second, and we're tied up at 3. They'll score that a double. It'll be an RBI for Kelly Johnson. 200 hitter who now has 4 RBIs on the year.
They're scoring that a double.
Scoring a double.
I was quick. I don't know about that, Matt. Let's just see the replay here. I know he hits it hard. There's no doubt about that.
It's almost hit the wrist.
Well, it did hit him in the wrist.
I guess you could score that. I'd want it if I hit it. No, Ryan probably feels like he could have kept that ball in the infield. But
Johnny Gomes takes up high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, that's 5 hits now for the Braves. The last 2 have been the crispest that he's given up.
your buddy Johnny's always been kind of a slow mover in the batter's box. Huh?
Very fidgety.
A lot of coffee.
Howard into foul territory. And he makes the catch. Johnson thinks about tagging. And stops about a third of the way off the bag. So 2 outs. And Jace Peterson, who has 2 RBIs, will be the batter.
Might pitch him a little careful here, even though he came into the game hitting 171.
Yep.
First base open.
And you've got the right-hander Bethencourt in the on-deck circle,
who, by the way, almost hit it out.
I don't know what the wind was doing on his ball and Frank Core's ball. Maybe they got it down on the handle a little bit too much. Fly ball, shallow right center field. And Herrera comes running in to make the catch. Inning is over, but the Braves do tie it up. Back-to-back doubles. Freddie Freeman and Kelly Johnson produced the 3rd run for Atlanta. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Philadelphia. Buy the Quality Plus Sports stores. Go further and buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Busy day here in Philadelphia down at the Art Museum. A lot of folks spending some time. 10 relays are going on. Great day to be here in the city of Philadelphia. Nice day, a little cool. Here at the ballpark, it's the Fanatics' birthday. Great celebration that began before the ball game with the number of the local mascots and the mascots of the Lakewood Blue Claws and of the Reading Fightins. The Reading Fightins mascot band was performing out on Ashburn Alley. Odubel Herrera takes a breaking ball a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. Herrera was robbed of a hit, not by a defense his last time up, but by the placement of the ball. Johnny Gomes threw out Ben Revere at second on a bloop to left field. Turned out to be a fielder's choice. 3 balls, no strikes. Tell you what, the coaching staff is really happy with what Herrera has done so far. Just his energy, the way he's aggressive at the plate, but here he's running a deep count if he doesn't get the pitch he wants. There's ball 4.
Doing a little bit of everything. He'll drop a bunt. I think he's opened the eyes of teams around the league for sure.
You have to be happy with what he's done. Rule 5 guy coming in, hitting a solid 281, stealing some bases, playing pretty good defense throughout the year.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the one miscue he had against D. Gordon with the bases loaded fly ball to center, but very good attitude. So far it's an A+.
There he goes. Utley takes outside. The throw is on the shortstop side of the bag, and he is out at second base.
Wow. You got to give Simmons some credit. That was not a good throw. He might have got it down there fast. It was not a good throw. Short hop on the third base side of the bag. He backhanded shortstop and got it over. Watch this. Backhands and gets it over there on his hand. Oh my gosh! Great replay, great camera work.
Boy,
he just
awesome.
put his hand right on the glove.
He still hasn't touched the base. Now he does, right there.
Amazing. That's a beautiful thing right there.
Sure is. Utley takes to the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Back to Murph's question earlier about what do you do when you're not scoring runs, right? We're trying to come up with an answer on that. Well, that's what you do right there. Boom, you take off. You try to steal some bases. You try to make things happen. But we have a 3-hole hitter at the plate, by the way, who's not really in a hot streak, so to speak. So we're trying to create something, and they shut it down with a great throw and a great tag, or a mediocre throw and a great tag. So the answer is, my point is the Phillies are trying to do that.
Yeah.
Sandberg's trying to do that, trying to make something happen.
Utley pulls it, and it's caught by Peterson. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Well, as you mentioned right off at the top of the broadcast, it is a big day here at Citizens Bank Park, as it is every year when the Fanatic celebrates his birthday. And, well, he has some friends with him this year. As Tom, as you pointed out, the Galapagos gang, some of the newest members of the Phillies family. They've traveled all the way here from the Galapagos Islands, guys. You've got Sid the Sea Lion, Bessie the Blue-Footed Booby, Calvin the Giant Tortoise, and Iggy the Iguana. And they are here to celebrate with the Fanatic. And there's Iggy. Scouting report on Iggy: don't put your hands anywhere near his mouth. He likes to eat everything. That's what I was told. So be careful with Iggy. And I think we might see that a little bit later in this game. But yeah, the kids. I was just watching some of the kids enjoying them outside here in the third base gate, and they're really having a great time. So nice addition to here the ballpark here at Citizens Bank Park, and I'm sure we're going to see these guys many times this season, as they'll be here at many of the home games going forward, guys.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to watch before the ball game. The laughs and the smiles on the kids' faces who are watching the performance before the game was priceless. Phillies have not introduced a new addition to the Fanatic sort of family in almost 30 years. I think that's when Phoebe or the Floozy, one of them, was introduced. So he was excited about having a new cast of characters to join him here at the ballpark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes to Francoeur, and he chops it foul, and it remains 2-2. Francoeur flied out to the warning track and left his first time up. Another one in the dirt. That's the 3rd ball that's been in the dirt in this at bat to Francoeur. It's 3-2.
Jeff Francoeur, who'd have dreamed a non-roster invitee to spring training would be hitting cleanup for you.
That's why it's a remarkable game. Oh, man, that pitch was low, wasn't it?
Oh.
Jeff is not happy with that call for Mike DeMuro. Now he's questioning him with a kind of a smile on his face for the moment. He doesn't say a whole lot. Let's take a look. Here it is. Was it low? Well, looked like it was across the back knee.
Yeah, I mean, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be called low. That was the one time it wouldn't be.
Pro X clocks in at 70 pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off. From who? But WB Mason. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Christian Bethancourt will start it off for the Braves.
Hey! I'll get you through this, son. I'll get you through this.
I think that young lady may have gotten some cotton candy or some water ice, something that has caused her teeth to turn blue. Here comes Francoeur running in. It's going to drop in front of him for a hit. Broken bat single to right. And that is the 6th hit of the day for the Atlanta Braves.
I tell you that the pitcher, this if I can put this into the right words, pitchers today have so much movement on the. Everybody's getting this you talk about them. It's got a 2-seamer, a 4-seamer, a cutter. I just seem like I see more broken bat hits in today's game, you know, than we used to have. And I call it the old days. All right, when I played, it just seems like. Almost sometimes to me that you're better off hitting it bad anymore. Do you get a sense that there's more?
And I do, and it's to me, I think it's because the handles are so skinny nowadays. Like you can go with an S2 model, which means you have a very skinny handle, which is right above the legal size. A lot of guys like to go top heavy, bat, skinny barrel, but I think it has a lot to do with the wood.
Yeah, the bats just snap right in half. They don't splinter like they used to, but.
Wait, what you always used to use ash, right?
I don't know what it was. What was it?
It was hard.
No, we only had 2 bat companies when I played. Adirondack and Louisville. Well, they got about 24 now.
Yeah, so you'd use ash back in the day.
And they use maple now for the most part, right?
Maple, yellow birch. Yellow birch is a B45 from up in Quebec.
One play, and that's to first. There's one away, so acts like a sacrifice.
Well, that was like a straight steal, right? Well, 2-strike count.
Yeah, he got a really good jump, too. By the time Williams was in his sort of movement to the plate, he was already almost halfway to second base.
See, the catcher gets he kind of gets like a walking lead. Kind of surprised stolen base or attempt a stolen base.
We got a break there, too. He swung the balls way off the plate inside.
Well, here's Trevor Cahill, who struck out his first time up, and he lines one to center field. And Herrera makes the catch. Tagging from second is Bethencourt, and he'll go to third.
Squared that one up pretty good for a bad hitter that he is.
Monday, May 11th, the Phillies will give out a great cap to all fans coming to the ballpark, thanks to the folks at Teva. It's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night. And that great cap will be given to everybody that comes through the gates. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. You can go to Phillies.com and also check out some of the other things that are going to be happening that night as part of Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night. Markakis, the batter, he's 0 for 1. A double play his last time up. In the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes.
See, I think on that, broken bat hit discussion, I think it's because the pitchers just generally are able to make the ball have late movement so much more now than they used to. I was talking to Freddie Galvis the other day about the cutter and about how that's changed hitting. It's so hard to read the cutter. It's a fastball basically that sails into the lefty and away from the righty for a right-hand pitcher. You don't see spin. You swing fastball, and all of a sudden it's on the end of your bat.
Or your knuckles.
I think it's interesting, Mike, that you didn't know what kind of bat you used. Like there was just one bat basically.
Well, I would say that. What was it? Well, there was hickory.
Yeah.
Right. If it was a brown bat, it was hickory. And I guess they were ash, right?
Yep.
And that there were only 2 bat companies.
There's only 1 bat company for a lot of time, right? Well, actually, remember there was a company called Worth.
Yes, I remember Worth. Yeah. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Markakis.
Pete Rose brought the Mizuno bat over from Japan.
And a foul tip, and Markakis is struck out, and the Braves leave a runner over at third base. So leadoff single. Freddie Gonzalez's team gets a guy 90 feet away, cannot score. Let's see what Ryan Howard can do when we return for the bottom of the 4th.
It looks like that evil opposition man is back.
Good to see you again, Baker, you silver-tongued devil. And today, I'm going to turn you all into Reds fans.
Isn't there somebody who can save the day? Yes!
Well, that was back last year when Opposition Man was here at the Phanatic's birthday, and Dan Baker was pleading with somebody to come save the rest of the mascots, and it was the Phanatic who saved all his friends. Ryan Howard leads it off here in the fourth, and Howard whacks it foul, and it's 0-1. Howard homered his last time up.
Should we start talking about a Ryan Howard home run? Okay.
Let's just don't go to the well too many times.
See if he can put a multi-home run day up on the books.
That'd be awesome.
Last home run went 395 feet. Opposite way. Johnny Gomes ventures back and reaches up and makes the catch.
Well, that's good stuff. I mean, I think that ball's down a little bit again, but we don't want to just keep harping on the fact that he can only hit low pitches. Line drive's a line drive. Darn it. That's 2 for him.
Well, Ryan is the feature of our Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. His at-bat to home run ratio against the Braves. Look at the names that he's ahead of. That's just against the Braves. Willie McCovey, Willie Stargell, Ralph Kiner, and George Foster.
It's pretty good, too, because a lot of those years the Braves were in the Western Division.
That is correct, yeah. Which was the oddity in the way the schedule was set up. 1-3 on the putout. Hernandez retired. 2 away here in the fourth. Let's check in with Murph. Murph, what's going on, bud?
Oh, Tom, well, we got some news on what will be happening in the St. Louis series. In particular, on Tuesday, the starting pitcher for the Phillies will be Severino Gonzalez. He's going to be called up from AAA and make his major league debut. Just 22 years old, and has been down at the Lehigh Valley this season, 1-1 with a 3.57 ERA so far in 3 starts. But he's going to get a chance to fill into that 5th starter spot right now. Of course, Sean O'Sullivan had a crack at it, and then he had the knee tendonitis, and then Dustin McGowan did a nice job filling in as well. But it'll be Severino Gonzalez on Tuesday. That's game 2 of that St. Louis series, Tom.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Yeah, news sort of filtered out last night that may happen. So the Phils will have another youngster taking the mound when we go to St. Louis this week. Dealer at ChevyDealer.com. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealers or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. Top of the 5th inning, 3-3 ball game. The Phils and the Atlanta Braves. And Drelton Simmons 0 for 2. He's lined out and grounded out. Out front, boy, they've thrown him a lot of off-speed pitches so far.
I would say that's the ticket with this kid. You know, slider, 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 change up, slider, and just stay away from the fastball in.
They want to go upstairs, and they went way in.
I don't mind the fastball that far in, but just to think that you know, a fastball. You know, it's a lot like Stanton. I mean, I'm saying he's not Giancarlo Stanton by any means, but you got to keep a steady diet of sliders to those guys. Anybody that's front shoulders flying like that.
He had a long home run yesterday in the game against Washington.
On a slider.
Yeah.
But it was a hanger. It was.
Well, sometimes those sliders just kind of spin up there on a flat plane, and you can intercept them when they go by.
Over toward third. Cesar Hernandez to the glove side. I think the ball he hit in the first inning was probably a fastball that he lined out on, and now that one right there.
I mean, I like the fact he made an out. Don't get me wrong, but I think you're doing him a favor throwing him a fastball.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman doubled and scored the tying run his last time up. He's also popped out to short. He doesn't think that was a strike. Mike DeMuro made the call, of course.
Look says everything, huh?
His mom and dad are probably watching somewhere back home saying, I know that look.
I go back to the old days again. They're you know, I think young hitters nowadays, this generation of hitters, they've all been kind of coached to accept whatever the umpire, you know. I know there's another base hit down the left field line by the guy with an uppercut. That's the one we've already broken down, the quick short V uppercut, line drive to left field. But there's not a lot of arguing about pitches anymore in the game. You get some screaming out of the dugout, but when we're watching on TV, we see pitches, bad pitches called. You don't see hitters getting in umpires' faces anymore.
Which probably happened more often than we even know as fans when you were playing. I mean, the games were on television, but there probably wasn't a lot that we saw that you guys would chirp about.
As long as you didn't look at him, you pretty much could say whatever you want.
Broken back ground ball. Pieces are at home plate. 4-3 on the putout.
That bat disintegrated. There's 3 or 4 pieces down there.
Yeah, there's a couple pieces that are right at the edge of the rim.
Explain to our fans what he just did. It's on the monitor right now. Some fans may not know that. Didn't he give it to the MLB guy?
Yes, that was the authenticator. Yep.
I thought that was amazing when somebody told me that the authenticator is down.
Yep.
I mean, is that common knowledge?
That's common knowledge. They're at every ballpark, and they basically sit, and you see the barcode and the authentication sticker that is right there. They authenticate that bat that Jeff Francoeur used and broke earlier was used in today's ball game. So he's marking it down when it was used. So now if it's either being sold or auctioned, people know that it was actually Jeff Francoeur's bat that was used.
You tried to do it the other day to Ichiro. He wouldn't allow it.
Ichiro wouldn't allow it?
No. He got his bat and took it back with him back to the bench.
Now they can get their bats back. Players can if they have certain things they want to do with them. But after that little silver sticker is put on it, there's a liner out to left. Ben Revere makes the catch. So a runner over at third is left there as Revere will toss a baseball into the stands for a fan. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. answer. All right, guys, here we go. What Phillies pitcher did Chipper Jones hit his final career home run against back in 2012?
Jonathan Papelbon.
Jonathan Papelbon is correct. It was September 2nd, 2012, and it was a game winner. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
It's 2 in a row. Matt got yesterday's too.
Went to down by 5 runs.
It was a big comeback.
Yeah.
It was again. It was one of those that it was a crowded night at Turner Field. They don't have a lot of crowded nights at Turner Field anymore, but it was crowded that night, and the energy in that ballpark. I mean, it was remarkable. And he took that swing, hit the home run, and it was a long home run. It wasn't just a fence scraper. It was deep into the seats. Freddie Galvis will lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning against Trevor Cahill. 3-3 game. First pitch is low. Galvis singled his first time up.
Curveball had some nice bite on it right there. I think Freddie thought he was right on it. And then all of a sudden it wasn't there.
It's never got there yet.
So at a Major League scoreboard, the Marlins lead the Nationals 5-2. Stanton an RBI triple.
He was 3 for 3 last night too, right?
Yeah, they're as you said, the Phillies got them right.
We heated them up.
Yep. Meanwhile, the Nationals are still thumping along. Galvis pulls it to right field, another base hit. 2 for 2 today. His average keeps on climbing. It's now over 340 with the 2 hits this afternoon. Well, it's time now for our T-Mobile game changer. And Cole Hamels has had trouble with run support. Well, so has Trevor Cahill. So far, the Braves are averaging under 2 runs per game. It's Burnett, Cahill, and Hamels who are tied for the top spot in the lack of run support in the National League. Williams bunts. Boy, that ball was right at him, and he laid it down beautifully. Galvis goes to second.
Well, that's good execution. You know me. I don't like to square around so early. Yeah. When that ball missed the bat, it would have hit him in the face.
Sure would have.
But did the job. Of course, he really didn't square as early as Cahill did.
Well, what I like about it is that he didn't jab the bat at the ball. The point of contact, he brings it back a little bit, deadens it, bunts to first base where you want to bunt in that situation. Freddie gets to second base, and he's 2 for 2 with the bunts today.
You think Freeman could have got off that bag a little faster and been on that. That ball was bunted hard.
Yeah, he was content with just making the play at first. Revere takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Revere is 1 for 2. He singled, infield singles first time up. A hot shot off the glove of Peterson at second. And then he grounded out to Freddie Freeman to end the second.
I'd like to see Ben get a fastball up in the zone a little bit, hit one in that right center field gap. Both outfielders playing, Eli and Markakis throwing, playing shallow in center and right. What, 3 triples this week?
Triple alley.
Same spot he hit the 2 against the Marlins. .88-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's full 3-2.
You want the
he pulls that one down the right field line. It's going to the corner.
How about that right field corner?
That may be Triple's alley, too. Galvis scores. Revere on his way to third. He took a pretty big step around the second base bag, almost lost his balance. It's his third triple of the homestand, and the Phils take the lead. It's 4-3.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was a little down and in. It wasn't the ball up in the zone that you were asking for, but he stung it right over Freeman's head.
Cahill misses his target by about 14 inches, but I like it. I mean, Ben's thinking triple all the way. As soon as he hit second right there, a little sniper got him. And which, have you ever seen the video of him against the Royals a few years ago when he was with the Twins? He did the exact same thing. Ball hit down the right field corner against the Kansas City Royals. Jeff Francoeur playing right field. Comes around second, gets halfway to third, wipes out, complete somersault, gets up, finishes his triple, slides heads first into third. Like, didn't even miss a. Like, I would have laid there like I got shot.
He did a somersault and made it?
He did a somersault and get up and continue running.
We've seen him do it at home plate with the Phillies.
Yeah. Seen him slide on home plate.
But to do it halfway between second and third?
With a smile on his face. Roger McDowell out to talk to Cahill. Well, Revere over at third base now. Let's see if Phils can get him in with one man down. It's a one-run lead. The Braves will play the infield in. Talked about his secondary leads. They've been very strong on a couple of different occasions already on this homestand.
Just to go on contact here, I guess. With Ben's speed, he gets a good jump. I mean, you're requiring a clean catch and a perfect throw to get him at the plate.
Por poquito, Bobby.
No balls, one strike to Herrera, who has been on base twice, once with a fielder's choice after blooping one to left, and then the other time with a walk.
Just try not to get the 2 strikes in this situation. I'll tell you, it's easier said than done. Just hitting that nice little fly ball or ground ball up the middle. Now's when you really got to get down in there and say, you are not striking me out.
Goes back to the one-on-one battles that you talked about before.
Staying alive on a nice backdoor curveball right there. It was up in the zone. I understand that, but still, you could quit on something like that.
Revere takes his lead off third. And the 0-2 pitch. Up high, 1-2.
Or the vulnerable pitch here, Matt. Tell me if you agree with me. That slider down and in.
Yes.
That's the tough one to lay off of.
That it is.
Slider cutter off the plate down in by your, if you're him at the kind of like your back, your left foot. Ben's practicing that jump over there at third base.
He was 3/4 of the way down the line by the time he stopped.
It would be interesting to see, and usually with Chase Utley hitting next, as you can see right here, he's getting a very good secondary lead going on contact. If Chase is swinging the bat really well, it'd be interesting to see if they would be going on contact in this situation.
That's true.
Check swing. Did he go? Did he go? Yes, says the third base umpire, Mark Carlson. So there's 2 outs.
Let's catch the replay on this. In the old days, they'd give you that one. Nowadays, no.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. blackout and other restrictions apply. So they're going to walk Utley to face Francoeur. Righty on righty.
Jeff gets a chance to beat his old team here.
I was talking to Sandberg and Larry Boa today about Jeff Francoeur, and I said, you know, I'll tell you one thing. He gives you everything he has, every at bat, every play in the field. And they agreed, and they said that's why they like having him, because he's constantly going. His energy level is high. You know, he said at the plate, he goes max effort all the time. He said sometimes he goes max effort out in the outfield, he overthrows a cutoff man. It's like he's at the plate. He said, we want him to stop doing that.
Well, he's got that football mentality.
That's it.
He's a baseball player.
That's it.
But he's a darn good guy. Everybody loves being around him. He's fun. And I'm a believer that good things happen to good people.
Let's see if he can drive in a 2-out run. Lays off 1-0.
And believe me, they know his tendencies at home plate.
Absolutely.
He wants to get that fan going.
Freddie Gonzalez was part of Bobby Cox's staff when Francoeur was an Atlanta Brave. Of course, faced him when he was the manager for the Marlins. He's hit sharply to second, but Peterson is up with it. And the Phils will leave a couple, but they do retake the lead. They do so on an RBI triple by Ben Revere. They leave 2. We'll go to the 6th inning. It's the Phillies 4 and the Braves 3. On the mound, the durable right-hander has been just that for his new team and has been efficiently strong in all 4 starts. Aaron has posted an ERA of 1.37. Opponents are hitting under 200, and he has set a career high, tossing 8 straight quality starts going back to last season. Harang's edition has been a good one, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. 4-3 Phillies on top as we go to the top of the 6th inning. So Jerome Williams gets a lead to work with here. Phillies may start some bullpen action behind him. He hasn't been all that sharp here this afternoon, but he's battled through it. The Braves do have bullpen action, as Jace Peterson will lead it off against Jerome Williams. Lays one in there, an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. Peterson's 1 for 2. He has a 2-run single. Fly ball right center field, and Herrera crosses over toward it. And there's one away. Well, in between innings, the Fanatic reintroduced his old friends, the Galapagos gang. They'll be here at the ballpark throughout the year. And then he was pushed aside by an umpire impersonator who decided he wanted to dance a little bit with the gang. The gang wasn't all too happy about that. So Iggy the Iguana, well, he took care of the umpire. That's right. He beaked him. And then, well, then he ate him. And that was it for the umpire. Jeff Francoeur will make sure that's it for Christian Bethancourt. 2 outs. Umpire never did come out. And then, because Iggy just left. He left with the umpire. I thought the Fanatic was going to take the attention away from the players, Mike. What if you had the Galapagos gang back then?
Entertainment. It's all about entertainment.
Although it would have been a heck of a birthday party for your kids, though, if they would have been there with the Fanatic and the Galapagos gang.
Well, I did have the Fanatic at one of my daughter's birthday parties. Fanatic came out to the house to visit her.
0-2 to Eric Young. He has 1 hit and 2 at-bats. Another fly ball to center field.
Good inning.
Herrera goes back on it, makes the catch. Very good inning for Jerome Williams. Boy, he needed that. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves. Just a 7-pitch inning. 6 in the books for Atlanta. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th for the Phils, up by 1.
Right in Phoebe's head or snoot or something. And Mom doesn't look too happy. She comes all the way from the Galapagos Islands.
No, Dan, Mom didn't look too happy. He couldn't do that again if he tried, I don't think.
It almost looked intentional to me.
Paybacks. That was back in 2011. Of course, today celebrating the Fanatic's birthday here at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks to the good folks at Citizens Bank. In fact, in just a little bit, the Phillies are going to give a trip away to the Galapagos Islands to one lucky fan. Ryan Howard leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Some lucky fans sitting in seat 14 row 6.
But we don't know the section.
Oh, we don't know the section yet.
Yeah, that's the next piece. It's a 10-day, 9-night trip on board the National Geographic Endeavour to the Galapagos Islands. The entirety of the trip, including round-trip airfare, is compliments of Lindblad Expeditions, Citizens Bank, and the Phillies.
Is that for 2 or for 4?
It's a trip for 2, I believe.
Trip for 2?
Yeah.
It's a great trip.
One lucky fan and a guest. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Howard. He's homered today. And he lines that one right into the shift.
Wow. Homered, lined out to left, and hit a single to right field where there just happened to be a player playing.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. and buy W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. The scoring on that line drive is a liner out to the third baseman.
So that's how it's scored, even though he's standing in right field?
Yeah, third baseman, and then you have to make a note in your book and say shallow right field, so you remember. A chopper to first, and Freddie Freeman
makes the catch.
Oh, the Fanatic has arrived.
Watch out, he'll eat you.
Happy birthday, first of all, Fanatic. Happy birthday. And Iggy the Iguana
You're the best.
has made its first.
Did he digest that umpire?
Not sure if I like that, Iggy. Ooh. All right, shine it up, shine it up. You guys having a good day? It's the best birthday ever, right, the Fanatic? Huh? We just showed a highlight of you throwing batting practice and hitting Phoebe right in the snout back in 2011.
Still feels bad about
that.
You're guilty.
Be careful, Iggy. That may happen to you one day. All right, Fanatic, here you go. Take a look. Flashback. Ready? You're shaking off, I think, the Oriole. Bam! She's never going to let you live that down. But how about Phoebe bringing your friends, and your friends are staying for the summer here at Citizens Bank Park. Ground ball to shortstop. Simmons is up with it, and the inning is over. Guys, thanks for coming up. I know it was a short visit, but Fanatic, on behalf of everyone up here, Carl, our stat guy, Charlie, Christine, Slappy in the back, and the boys, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We go to the top of the seventh inning. Phil Gosselin will lead it off as a pinch hitter. Gosselin out of Malvern Prep, the same high school that produced Ben Davis. He was up in yesterday's ball game. He takes strike two. That's a tough pitch right there, but Williams will take it. No balls and 2 strikes. Gosselin hitting 133. And a chopper over to Chase Utley. And one away. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda Dealers game summary. Well, Brian Howard's 3-run home run, 49th of his career against the Braves. That's a big blow. But give some credit to Jerome Williams for hanging in there today. He's into the 7th inning. That's huge. He's allowed 7 hits and 3 runs, but right now has a 1-run lead. He's retired 6 in a row.
Yeah, I wouldn't have dreamed at the rate he was going the first couple innings that Jerome would still be around in the 7th. I guess the Braves had a couple of quick innings, swung early in the count, had a chance to run the pitch count up, but didn't take advantage of that. And he's still here. Well, credit to him.
Yeah, the first inning he faced 7 batters, but he walked 2 of those batters.
Yes.
So he threw a lot of pitches.
And what he's also done is that he's thrown a lot more changeups, and he's spotting his cutter better. He's getting away from that 4-seam fastball and 2-seamer and relying on the good movement with his changeup.
1-2 pitch to Markakis. And it fades away. It's 2-2.
It's a good example of the changeup right there.
Yeah.
Running away.
Foul territory. Hernandez over near the tarp and then out of play. Well, in between innings, this young lady was the winner of the trip to the Galapagos Islands. What a great giveaway. She came to the ballpark today thinking, I'm going to watch a ball game, maybe celebrate the Fanatic's birthday. And Murph, now she's going on an expedition.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, you're headed for 10 days and 9 nights. Allison Pike, you are the winner of the Galapagos Islands trip. That's pretty exciting. I came down here. I said, do you like to travel? You said what?
Yes, I do.
So you're going to head out for 10 days and get a chance to explore the Galapagos Islands. Tell me everything you know about the Galapagos Islands right now.
It's off the coast of Ecuador.
Very good.
That's about it.
Well, you think about, you come to a ball game, you think you're going to see some good baseball and maybe see a Phillies win, and you end up winning a trip. Can you put into words what this all means?
Nope, I didn't think it would happen.
Now tell us how this happened, because you're 19 years old. You did not purchase these tickets. Tell us the story behind that.
My dad purchased them. My brother picked the seats, and I won. So.
And where's Dad right now?
He's right over there.
Yeah, Dad's sitting over here, and he didn't win the trip, but his 19-year-old daughter did. We should tell folks that it's compliments of Lindblad Expeditions, Citizens Bank, and, of course, the Phillies as well. Do you have any idea when you want to go?
I don't know. Whenever I can.
I think she's a little bit in shock, is Allison. But well, congratulations. Have a wonderful time, and make sure you send us some pictures over Twitter. All right? Would you do that for us?
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. It's Allison Pike, guys. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
Well, just a tremendous giveaway. I mean, there's no question about that. As Murph said, the entirety of the trip, including round-trip airfare, compliments of Lindblad Expeditions, Citizens Bank, and the Phillies.
Is that for 2?
Trip for 2. Well, base hit by Simmons, and here comes Ryan Sandberg. And that may be it for Jerome Williams after 92 pitches. Yep, there's the signal to the pen. Luis Garcia has been warming up in the bullpen. So they'll bring in the left-hander, or excuse me, the right-hander, to face the left-handed hitting Freddie Freeman. So that's it for Jerome Williams. Did a nice job here this afternoon. Really battled. 5 one-pitch outs. We'll be back with a new pitcher after this. first alert weather on Thursday, May 14th, when the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Plus, after the game, senior stroll the bases. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Well, not as old as the Fanatic, but it is that young guy's birthday as well. Freddie Freeman is on to face Luis Garcia, who takes over for Jerome Williams. Williams goes 6 2/3 here this afternoon, with Simmons at first base. And the first pitch is hit foul, and it's 0-1.
Freddie Freeman coming off of 2 hard hit balls down the left field line. You're probably wondering why we were not matching up with a left-hander right here. Well, we saw Jake Diekman, our only left-hander, last night struggle a bit. Probably would have been the spot for him. Threw a lot of pitches last night, and we don't have a second left-hander.
Yeah, there's Williams chatting with David Buchanan. Responsible for the base runner at first base. Couple walks, couple strikeouts. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Freeman stands right up on that plate too. He didn't give you a lot of area to pitch to. That's a danger zone right there too, isn't it?
Down and into a left-hander.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you.
Yes, it is.
Foul ball up toward the Hall of Fame club. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. 8 hits today for the Braves, 5 for the Phils.
Chase Utley halfway out in the right field.
Another different lineman, isn't it? That's a big.
Yes.
Right in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of space just where you drew for Freddie Freeman. Well, he's battling Garcia here. He's fouled off a few. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kelly Johnson is on deck. Runner will go. And a chopper softly to the right side. Freddie Galvis comes crossing over. On the side is retired. An 8-pitch at bat. But Garcia wins the battle. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia with the Phils up 1. fifth inning here in Philadelphia. Clocking in at 70 pages per minute, the HP OfficeJet Pro X is the perfect addition to your starting lineup. And now 50% off. Get yours today from who but W.B. Mason. You bring a sign, and you may get on TV, particularly if you put Murph's name on it. And Murph actually went to that sign. I'm not sure if they may have realized that Murph was in that section and they brought an extra marker and said, you know what, let me see if I can get on TV.
You know what it is? This little guy's right here, first game,
right?
First Phillies game,
yep.
And he wants to wish the Fanatic a happy birthday. And he's right there. Can you say happy birthday to the Fanatic?
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Right on key and everything. Well, there you go. We'll get him that message, okay? Guys?
All right, Murph, you going to roam the crowd looking for more signs?
Well, why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of good signs out here today. So.
Well, it is a great crowd of kids. They got a great giveaway thanks to Citizens Bank. The Fanatic socks, which I don't think there's ever been a pair of socks like that given out at a ball game before.
This is a nice crowd today.
It is. Yep. And the Fanatic is enjoying all of it. I don't know if it's her first birthday. Ian Thomas is the new pitcher for the Braves. And he's on to face Freddie Galvis, and then a pinch hitter. It's going to be Andres Blanco, it looks like. Thomas is out of VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University. And so far, just an inning in the third and 2 games for the Atlanta Braves. Galvis is 2 for 2 with a run scored today. Singled his first time up back in the second. Singled again in the fifth.
2 for 2 left-handed.
Now he gets a chance right-handed. Watching him this spring, which is he stronger at, lefty or right?
He's natural. He's a natural right-handed hitter.
Right.
Natural right-handed. Much more athletic right-handed. More power right-handed.
Inside, 1-1. Did you guys talk to him about where his foot is right now, where he's starting?
No, I just nothing about his natural stand. I don't know where the heck he got that thing.
Outside 2-1 because Matt, it wasn't that accentuated last year, right? He wasn't that wide open. He wasn't exaggerated all the way out to.
No, I don't think so. But I'm a firm believer. It doesn't matter where you stand.
What matters is where that after that first move, how he gets it done soon enough, and he's not having to rush. See.
Fanatic
and Hump, our camera operator. Humpy, our camera operator. They almost both got clicks.
Vamos pa Venezuela, Freddy, vamos, hello.
Another base hit. This one to center field. A liner for Freddie Galvis. 2 lefty, 1 righty. And he's aboard to start the 7th inning. Andres Blanco may be aboard or maybe up here to try to sacrifice him up in the scoring position.
Well, Freddie's an amazingly confident hitter right now. You can just tell it in his demeanor at the plate. Staying in the middle of the field like you like to see, Matt. Not afraid to get behind in the count.
I find Freddie this year is taking the first pitch a lot. And he's not worried about hitting with 1 strike on him. And like you said, he's hitting with confidence, and that's what happens when you have confidence. Doesn't matter 1 ball, no strikes, or 2 strikes, or whatever it is. If you're feeling good, doesn't matter.
Blanco bunts it beautifully toward Freddie Freeman. Another sacrifice. So that 9-hole has 3 sacrifices today as Galvis goes to second base.
Well, let's see if we do the same thing we did the other night when we won the ball game.
Yeah.
So we can get somebody to bounce one right here, move him over to third, and then boom, get him in.
Well, Ben Revere, his last time up, tripled into the right field corner. He's 2 for 3. His average is finally up over 200. Ken Giles is loosening up in the pen, and that means only one thing, that Jonathan Papelbon is available today. Whoa.
Ooh.
Chin music.
Last time that happened, triple right center.
Yeah.
Who's the pitcher? Dunn? It was Dunn,
Mike Dunn, right?
Mike Dunn, yeah,
Yep.
from the Fish.
Michael Kahn throwing in the pen for the Braves. And he pulls it down the right field line. It's a foul ball.
You know, you won't see any teams come into Philadelphia with one left-hander in their bullpen. Actually, I think most teams add an additional one. Usually come in with 3.
I like Ben right now. He's getting his foot down early and recognizing pitches.
He's quick on that inside pitch. There's no question about it. Must be getting near May.
We are creeping closer.
Plus, you're getting up to 64. He's got 64 at bats now. This is where the timing starts to kick in. 100 at bats, you start feeling really good.
Fouls it back. Rains 2-2. Toyota Major League Scoreboard will be heading to St. Louis to see the Cardinals. They're right now being shut out 3-0 in the top of the 4th. Adam Lind is at a 2-run home run for the Brewers. 2-2 to Ben Revere.
No.
Oh, man. Ben watched that go all the way to the glove, too. But he's down looking. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. And it was the first time Odubel Herrera, I'm sorry, no, it was when Odubel Herrera was on first base. And Simmons made a great play at second base.
Because Bethcourt does a great job short hopping.
Yep.
I mean, that's an unbelievable play by Simmons to get the tag down. And that's why it's a defensive game today. Brought to you by Hyundai.
So now Herrera is going to be up there to try to get a 2-out base hit. He's 0 for 2. Big swing and a curveball. Uh-oh. Lopic's gang is heading down to the dugout. It doesn't look like it's an easy trek down to the dugout.
How are the folks behind them feeling right now to watch the game?
Hey, Herbie, remove the derby.
What exactly are they doing? Getting ready for the between innings dance?
Yeah, a little bit of a dance. Yep. 0-2 pitch coming to Herrera. To the right side. Freeman backhands. Herrera trying to win the race to the bag. The ball goes off the glove. Here comes Galvis. He'll score. And the Phils lead it 5-3. It's going to be another error for the Atlanta Braves.
You know, an important point here is that just goes to show you how important contact can be in a ball game. Yep. Making contact. There's an 0-2 pitch, a tough 0-2 pitch, a little bit of a hanger, but curveball from lefty to a lefty. He puts it in play. We end up with a run.
Well, and also right here, Galvis doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't expect it, or he doesn't take nothing for granted. He's just coming around second, or around third, excuse me, and thinking about scoring.
I think that's one of those plays you can see unfolding. Pete McCannon, as a coach at third, could see that thing unfolding all the way. You know, the high chopper, the first baseman, got to make a long flip to the pitcher covering. Keep going, Fred.
Yep. Well, that's 6 errors now in this series for the Braves. They scored a straight error, no single, and an E3 to allow the runner to come home. Just a straight error all the way. I thought maybe they'd give Herrera a single. I thought he was putting pressure on the pitcher to get there.
Well, you also look at the umpire and the way the umpire makes the call. Sometimes the umpires will
That's a good point.
swing their hands that he was off the base.
I didn't see that. That's a good point.
He gave the straight safe sign.
Did he?
That it looked like he probably would have beat it.
Utley pulls it foul deep down the right field line.
Here it is, Matt. I would think.
I mean, it was a
that was going to be close.
As you see the umpire, he waves his hand safe.
Yeah, it was going to be close. I mean, he may have been out. I don't know if it was a better throw if he led him to the bag better.
Well, if you led him to the bag better, yes.
I think the whole thing is somewhere in there, there's got to be an error.
Absolutely,
because of the scores. I think it should be fielded a hit and an error.
Yeah, I thought single E3 to allow the runner to score. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chase. And he fouls it back.
Here's an interesting thing I learned the other night.
He catches it. He probably
would have been out.
It would have been out.
Yeah, if you look at that replay right there, you have a tough time on an appeal. But there's a process now in play, as I understand from talking to Ruben Amaro the other night, to try and get a change of a scoring stat. Ruben says he gets texts all the time from agents
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, to change, plays like that from an error to a hit.
Well, it used to be people would pick up the phone in the dugout.
Most of the texts and emails he gets, though, are from agents of pitchers who
they want it the other way.
Yeah, who end up getting earned runs as a result of hitters being given hits. They wanted the errors. Back in the day, we used to just at the end of the game call the press box or ask the writer to come down and just. It's kind of a futile effort you'd give him in as Chase fouls off that 2-strike slider. But can I get a little more consideration on that on the ball in the hole to the shortstop? Most of the time was, well, I'll think about it.
Never got it.
Yeah, now there's an appeal process that the visiting manager or whichever manager on whichever side, they can ask for the appeal.
24 hours it takes, right?
I think that's what it is. I think you're right, Matt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Way outside, 3-2. So Herrera will be off and running.
Well, I got a quick moment. My last at bat in my career was a walk. Terry Mulholland out in San Francisco. The at bat before that, I chopped a ground ball, which I thought was going to be my last at bat. Chopped a ground ball. Jose Uribe came in, charged it, kind of misplayed it. I beat it out at first base. I knew in my mind I was ending my career with a base hit.
Back toward the middle softly, and the second baseman Peterson has it.
Or should I say an infield hit? Real quickly,
hit.
I went in, take a shower. Somebody came in and said, "Mike, they changed that ball to Uribe to an error."
So a walk it is.
Some pitcher must have made a call that had his agent call, right?
Today for great offers on our most exciting lineup. Shop Nissan.com, and by McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's. Loving it. Well, the Galapagos gang is defending the Fanatics' honor on the dugout in between innings. Braves fan somehow made his way up onto the dugout. And I believe Sid, the Galapagos sea lion, silly stringed him.
Destroying him.
Yeah, destroyed him with the silly string. Kenny Giles takes over here in the 8th inning and faces Kelly Johnson. It'll be Kelly Johnson, Johnny Gomes, Jace Peterson. Giles, his 9th game. He's allowed base runners, but he's been able to get through it unscathed. He's allowed some inherited runners to score and some unearned runs, but that's about it. Fastball, and it's 1-1. Phillies have it set up for the back end of their bullpen now with a 2-run lead with 6 outs to get. Chase Utley stays down on it, and 5 outs to get.
Stays down on it, huh? Yeah, I like the way you say that. Louis Aguayo was shortstop when I played third base, and we had this little thing where he'd yell, "Stay down!" when a ground ball was coming my way. Stay down.
Now, would you yell it back to him?
No, but it reminded me to stay down because I like to look up a little bit, you know.
Johnny Gomes is 1 for 3. I saw Louis Aguayo when he was with the, he may still be there, with the Red Sox organization. He was an infield instructor. Always walked around with a really small glove. No balls, 1 strike. No balls, 2 strikes.
Nice slider. Back-to-back sliders. I think confidence-wise, Giles needs to have an easy inning. Make some quality pitches.
Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Way upstairs, 96 on the fastball, and it's 2-2.
St. Louis got a bad break recently, right?
Yeah, they did. The injuries mount for teams all around baseball. And there's a call, strike 3, a slider to Johnny Gomes. Well, he got him with 3 slider, really good sliders here today. Speaking of that injury you were talking about, Schmitty, let's go to Murph with the Major League Notebook.
Well, yeah, you heard last night that Adam Wainwright had to leave that game. We were anticipating seeing Adam Wainwright in the Cardinals series, in the final game of that Cardinals series. Word is out of St. Louis that it is an Achilles injury to Wainwright, and although he has only been placed on the 15-day disabled list, guys, right now, it sounds like it is worst-case scenario and that Wainwright will probably miss the remainder of the year. He's waiting on an MRI tomorrow. We'll know for sure at that point while we're in St. Louis whether or not, but that is a huge loss for the Cardinals. And also in the Major League Notebook today, guys, did you see the story about Adrian Beltre, who was facing Garrett Anderson of the Angels, and Beltre broke 3 bats in facing him, and then sent him an invoice for $300 after the game, asking to get repaid for those 3 bats. And it was back and forth, and all in good spirits, but a tough day for Adrian Beltre at the plate, guys.
I think that's funny that he would do something like that. Try to clear his psyche.
$100 a bat.
$100 a bat. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jace Peterson. Yeah, Wainwright injured himself swinging. He wasn't even on the mound.
Well, now he injured himself taking off for first base.
Right.
It was like he chopped the ball or something.
Like Ryan Howard.
Yeah. Yeah, really. And if you watch the replay of it, you watch his foot that he hurt his Achilles on. It was like planting, he was like planting his foot and pushing real hard off. It's something you do a billion times, and just at one time you catch it wrong or something.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Peterson. Fouls it off.
Now, after Beltre sent the invoice to Richards,
yeah,
Richards sent one of his bats back to him to use it.
Like a swap. There's ball 4, 2-out walk.
Same way. Come on, let's go.
And Christian Bethancourt will be the hitter.
Yeah, Matt Richardson was just trying to help him out a little bit. So seeing that he broke 3 of Adrian's bats. So.
More than likely, he was sending over a pitcher's bat, which is usually like an R161. Which is named after Babe Ruth, right? The R161.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And it's got the biggest handle you'll ever see on they use it for bunting.
I thought it was Robinson, Frank Robinson, R161.
We have a battle of initials.
I'm not going to argue with them.
No, actually. Well, I mean, yeah, I think it was actually R161 Frank Robinson. I think Babe used more of a standard bat, a big old log, but I don't know that back when Babe played if they actually
had the numbers.
Well, had the numbers or tailored the if the bats were the R161s got kind of like a. In fact, Tony Taylor used one. I used one when I had the big home run game in Chicago. I used an R161 Tony Taylor bat. It's got kind of a small, semi-small handle, but it's got like that end on it that's. How do you say it? Built up?
Bottle cap? Like a bottle?
Yeah, exactly. It's fat on the end, in the business end of it.
All different brands now.
Well, I would say that bat right there.
Yeah.
It's Freddie Galvis.
I would agree with you on that one.
Nobody touches Chase Utley's. He leaves them alone.
Yeah, you're right on that Galvis bat.
2 balls, 1 strike to Bethancourt. Whacks it foul. It's 2-2.
But I think he's been using the black one 3-for-3 game here today.
Giles trying to get the final out here in the 8th inning. Papelbon is starting to loosen now in the pen. He didn't go fishing for it. It's 3-2, and the runner will be off from first. Goes, pitch is hit toward right field. Frank Core ventures back. He's on the track, makes the catch. Inning is over. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. 7.5 now in the books. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phillies on top by 2. The fight against cancer. Plus, Jeff Francoeur is enjoying every second of the big leagues. Watch Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz, coming up at 4:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Speaking of Jeff Francoeur, he'll lead it off. It'll be Francoeur, Ryan Howard, and Cesar Hernandez against the new right-hander Michael Kahn. Kahn at Gwinnett was 0-1 with an ERA of 4.32. He has spent parts of 4 years in the major leagues, but this year was down in the minor leagues with the Braves. There's Francoeur, and he takes up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Francoeur is 0 for 3. He's flied to left. He is struck out. Way outside.
There's a good chance we're going to get a pretty solid hack at this pitch. Oh, man. Jeff's a hard guy to walk. But he does get some walks.
Outside, ball 4. So Francoeur draws a walk. And here comes Ryan Howard. Howard is 1 for 3. He's lined out a couple times.
Do you hold Francoeur on here?
You might as well, because you have the shift on anyway, so he's just going to basically take 1 step off.
He slides the other way. Ooh, nice catch. He may have a bruise after making that catch, but that was a great catch.
We got some players in the stands around here.
Yeah, he jumped up, caught it, and fell down to the stairway. There we go. Ready?
Concentration.
Whoa, whoa, snow cone. Whoa. That one's poked out to left center. Young will track it down.
Ryan's hit the ball hard 4 times today. Line out to right, line out to left, line out to center, and a home run.
You can line out to third.
Oh. The third baseman in right field.
Cesar Hernandez is 0 for 3. He's got 3 groundouts today. 2 to first, 1 to the pitcher. Waits on deck. Popped him up. Kelly Johnson, the third baseman. Bethencourt, the catcher. There are 2 outs. 15th Annual Teacher Appreciation Night presented by GDF Suez is Friday, May 8th at 7:05. Nominate your teacher now. See Phillies.com/teacher for more information. By the way, Carl Graber, our statistician, just told us that Jason Hayward apparently suffered a leg injury in today's game against the Brewers and has been removed from the ballgame. He appeared to injure his leg on a play in the right field corner. And And he is being reevaluated and will again be reevaluated tomorrow when the team heads back to St. Louis. That game's currently in the 5th inning in Milwaukee.
So you got a hot hitter there too, Matt Holliday.
Oh yeah, a couple. Matt Holliday and Matt Carpenter both are red hot. Outside with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-0.
Smitty, you were right about the R161. Frank Robinson, back from 1961 when he won the MVP. They named the bat after him. I stand corrected.
Out toward right field, slicing toward foul territory, and it goes foul.
Can't let you run that Babe Ruth thing, Brian. No, I mean, that's for me, it was a shot in the dark, really. I can't believe I was right about that. But
well, folks wonder about certain bats and how they're labeled. The initials on a lot of bats are for former or current players.
You know what Chipper Jones hit that final home run with?
What's that?
The thing we were talking about earlier, an MS-20.
You know, his bat did. The only thing with the band, the color band above the handle was just a different color, whereas yours was sort of a maroon or red.
But he used an MS-20 his whole career.
He used a Mike Schmidt model.
Yep. One of the great honors I've always had to mention about Chipper Jones. I know he's a great player, but one guy that used my bat, maybe the only guy other than me that used it.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Rupp. Fly ball center field, not that deep. Backpedaling is Peterson, the second baseman. Young calls him off. And their communication leads to the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. Jonathan Papelbon shaking off the migraine and will head in with a 2-run lead.
Papelbon into the ball game, hoping to close this one down. After the ball game, the Phils, as we mentioned, will head to St. Louis to start a 10-game road trip. There's your pitching probables for the beginning of that road trip. Cole Hamels and John Lackey will get things started on Monday at 8:15 Eastern Time. Then the Major League debut of Severino Gonzalez will take on Michael Wacha. Aaron Harang will go for win number 3 in the season versus Carlos Martinez. That is on Wednesday. And the Thursday afternoon game, 1:45 is the first pitch. David Buchanan will be on mound for the Phils. We'll wait and see who will fill in for Adam Wainwright, as we just talked about his injury. So the Cardinals still looking for a starter on Thursday afternoon. Guys?
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. We saw Darren Ruff. He takes over at first base. And Jonathan Papelbon will take over on the mound. 3 saves, 3 opportunities so far for Pap. He's missed the last few days from what Ryan Sandberg termed a migraine. In fact, he was home in game 1 of this series, was not available to pitch. He comes in 3 saves shy of Jose Mesa's club record. He has 109 for the Phillies, and Mesa 112. First pitch to Eric Young is a strike. It's 0-1. He's also climbing the all-time saves list. He's not in the top 10 yet, but he's
do we know where he stands as a Red Sox closer in terms of career save?
His first, wasn't he?
I think he's the all-time leader, but I'm going to check on that. I'm almost positive he's the all-time leader.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. All-time leader with two organizations.
This is him all time. He's trying to get inside the top 15. He's at 15 right now. He's tied, or he's trying to move into a tie with Francisco Cordero. Oh-2 pitch. And he hits it skyward toward the Braves dugout.
When I managed in the Florida State League in 2004, he was a starter for the Sarasota Red Sox.
And he is, by the way, the all-time leader ahead of Bob Stanley. 219 career saves. Remember when they tried to convert him to being a starter again after being a closer? No balls, 2 strikes to Eric Young. Over the shortstop. Charging it is Galvis.
Good play. Good play. Pap got in on him a little bit. Nice little ground ball, but some guys will lay back on that and turn it into a tough play. But he charged right away, got the big hop. Get that big hop.
Alberto Callaspo will be the pinch hitter for Atlanta, 244 hitter. 11 hits on the season.
Speaking of career saves, I've always had an issue with the Hall of Fame and closers. And Dennis Eckersley's in the Hall of Fame, and Raleigh Fingers, of course, in the Hall of Fame. Goose Gossage in the Hall of Fame.
Bruce Sutter.
Bruce Sutter in the Hall of Fame. I cannot for the life of me figure out how Lee Smith, how to keep Lee Smith out.
See, that's interesting because you played against him. You saw him for a number of those years. You know how tough he is.
And at one point, I believe he was the all-time save leader at one point.
Yeah. People talk about the fact that he lingered, that he played so long, but he still, still was put up numbers. Out to right field. That's pretty well hit. Francour's going back, and we now have a 1-run game. So it's 5-4. Callaspo hits his first home run of the year. Not the kind of guy that you'd expect to pop a home run in this spot.
Well, I think you guys might agree with me. I think Pap pitches a little different when he has a little bit of a cushion. He has a 2-run cushion. You tend to be a little bit, you tend to challenge a little bit more when you have the 2 runs to work with and nobody on base. Things change a little bit when that tying run is either on base or at the plate. Not an excuse, but that run that we scored
big
on the bad play at first base looms very large right now.
Now Markakis, who has scored a run today, scored back in the first. Delivers a strike to him. It's 0-1.
I find it interesting, after the home run was hit and Papelbon was getting the ball back, he tapped his chest and said, "My bad." If you see in the replay, that ball was going right for the glove. He didn't miss his target. So unless he called it, like he wanted to call the fastball inside, because we've seen him do that a lot.
Yeah, most the first 3 weeks of spring training, he was basically calling his own pitches, and then he would let the catcher call the second pitch.
I mean, that ball is, that's right at the glove. And as he's walking back to home plate, he taps his chest.
In spring training, I got a kick out of watching him. He when the batter looked away or right after the pitch before it, he'd look at the catcher and he'd go like that.
A fastball signal or slider.
He'd give the head nod.
Head nod, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about Jonathan Papelbon on top of Bob Stanley for the Red Sox all-time saves leader. No balls, 2 strikes to Markakis. Did he get him to bite? It's 1-2. Got him. Rough picked it. Markakis is saying that ball hit the ground, that he fouled it. 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Now, is this replayable?
It's a nice split finger fastball.
Ball hit the ground. Ball definitely hit the ground.
Yeah, it definitely hit the ground. It's not something that is
splitter.
See, did he get a piece of it?
Didn't look like it. Oh.
Now they're going to look at the baseball to see. And they're going to let it go by. It's not reviewable to see whether it was a foul tip or not. Now they probably could review, or they probably could confer to see if the ball did hit the ground. The only thing you can review at the plate is a batter hit by a pitch. Simmons out front, 0-1. Now that one he got a piece of.
Here's where you want to stay away from that fastball in the inner half of the plate.
Drive base hit it to left field. And Freddie Freeman will bat. He has 2 doubles today. So the tying run is aboard for the Braves. 3rd hit of the series for Simmons. 2 singles and a home run.
Well, that's the last thing we wanted to have happen. The winning run to come to the plate in the presence of Freddie Freeman, who's hit a couple balls hard today.
2 for 7 in his career against Papelbon. Outside, 1-0. Tomorrow the Phils will be in St. Louis to take on the Braves. Will be on the air on Comcast Sportsnet at 8 o'clock. First pitch is scheduled for 8:15. Greg Murphy's going to sit down with Cole Hamels prior to the. We'll show that prior to the game tomorrow. 2 balls, no strikes to Freddie Freeman.
Nice little bounce up into the suites. A nice play by a lady.
Right place, right time, Matt.
We have the strike zone ready, huh? You ready?
How deep those outfielders are.
Yeah,
wow.
Look at Herrera.
Herrera.
That's the deepest I think I've seen a center fielder play. I mean, he is way back there. Ben Revere just a few steps from the track in left field. Boy, Herrera usually plays deep, but he is way out there.
Still backing up.
3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. The tying run is now at second. So runners on first and second, and Kelly Johnson is coming up.
And so is Bob McClure.
Bob McClure going out to join the conversation with Cameron Rupp. We got the first batter on a ground out, and then after the home run, a strikeout, but now a single and a walk. Coming up after the ballgame, Marlon Anderson will break down today's homestand finale between the Phillies and the Braves. Only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies postgame live. Marlon and Marshall Harris are standing by. All right, so the conversation is over. 3-4 between Utley and Papelbon. Kelly Johnson is 1 for 3 today. He doubled home a run in the 3rd. He has not picked up a hit in his career against Papelbon. Now they're trying to move Revere in left field. He only took a step in. Oh boy, he got a good pitch to hit there. He fouled it back. It's 0-1.
Smitty, what do you think? Kind of interesting that they leave Freddie Freeman at first base instead of putting a pinch runner in. Maybe give him an opportunity to score on a double.
Yeah,
being the ex-manager.
Now toward left field. Revere goes back on it toward the wall. Does he have room? He does. Makes the catch. And the ball game is over, even though the heart rate is moving. Jonathan Papelbon closes the door here in the 9th inning. And the Phils have won the series from the Atlanta Braves. They take 2 of 3. They win it 5-4 this afternoon. Well, Kelly Johnson gave it a nice drive, but Ben Revere was able to track it down, and it stayed in the yard.
You're
Pat
right.
gets the baseball.
The heart rates went up on that one in a lot of places.
Freddie Galvis is our Chevrolet player of the game. He had a great day. 3 for 3. A couple of runs scored for the Phils. Well, the Phillies finished this homestand with a 3-3 record. Ben Revere, well, he is the provider of our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Comes back in the 5th inning on a fastball down and in. Turns on it down the right field corner, just over the reach of Freddie Freeman. And Ben is off to the races. Freddie Galvis scores from second base very easily. And now Ben Revere is with Mr. Murphy.
All right,
take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There we go. Standing next to the guy who's really starting to heat up, Ben. It looks like things are starting to click for you offensively. We talked to you about a week ago, and you know, you continue another triple today. You're starting to see the ball pretty good, I think.
No, yeah, it was just trying to stay within myself. You know, you go with these struggling times where you're hitting the crap out of the ball. I say, my grandpa always says, and I find no holes. You know, it's just. It can be frustrating in the game of baseball, but you know, you got to keep your head up, keep grinding, and eventually they start falling. You know, the sun's going to shine even brighter, warmer weather's going to come, and you know, everybody's going to be a lot more happier.
we're all begging for warmer weather. That's the truth. Talk a little bit about, you know, in the offseason, you and I talked about some individual things that you were going to work on, and doubles and triples were one thing that you kind of had in the back of your mind to get so far so good with that.
Yeah, triples, yeah, doubles, they keep catching those. You know, but no, it's coming along, you know, driving the ball a lot better. You know, this year, you know, Major League Baseball is so tough. You know, one time you hit a ball hard on the one track, you know, they're playing a couple more sets back, but it's all about just having fun out there, no matter what. And, you know, I should keep that in mind, you know, just trying to bring joy in this locker room no matter what.
You always have a smile on your face. Ben, thanks for your time. Yes. Grandpa would have been proud. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. We appreciate that. Ben Revere makes the catch to finish up today's ball game right up against the wall. The save for Jonathan Papelbon, the win for Jerome Williams, and the series victory for the Phils.